The topic of Japa talk or some discussion on the holy name is very interesting one. Is what is the experience of Sriman Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he was chanting the mantra? So Sriman Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as we know, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, and he did not manifest the symptoms of love of God till the time he went to Gaya. And on the pretext of offering Shraddha to his father, Jagannath Mishra, Mahaprabhu went to Gaya, and actually his purpose of going to Gaya was to meet Ishwar Puripad, his spiritual master and disciple of Shripad Madhavendra Puri. And Ishwar Puripad gave him this Hare Krishna mantra, and he started chanting mantra, and then he became completely ecstatic chanting this Hare Krishna mantra. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela 7.81 to 94. And then Mahaprabhu was astonished, and then he goes to meet his spiritual master and asks him, Kiba mantra dila gosai, kiba tara bala, japite mantra karila pagal. How sweet that is. Kiba mantra dila gosai, O spiritual master. Gosai means a controller of senses. So it is when the spiritual master is referred, or then he said Gosai, O my dear spiritual master, what kind of mantra you have given me? Kiba tarbal, I don't know what is the potency of this mantra. Jabite mantra karila pagal, by chanting again and again, this mantra has made me mad. So you see, the mantra itself has the potency to make a person a lover of God if it is chanted offenselessly. So what if we are doing offenses? Even if we are doing offenses, we should continue to chant, because even this offensive chanting will bring us to the offenseless platform of chanting Hare Krishna. So Mahaprabhu obviously was directly on the platform, and then if the spiritual master asks, why do you say that you have become mad? Then he says, Hasaye nachaye more, karaye krandana, eta shuni guru hasi, balila vachan. Hasaye, it makes me laugh. Mahaprabhu is saying this Mahamantra makes me laugh. Nachaya makes me dance. More means me. Karaye krandan, and sometimes it makes me cry. Eta shunu guru hasi. After hearing this, his spiritual master laughed, and balila vachan, and he spoke these words. What are those words? Krishna nama mahamantre eita swabhava jai jape tara krishne upajaye bhav. Don't be surprised, my dear student. Krishna nama mahamantra eita swabhav. This is the very nature of this Hare Krishna mantra, Mahamantra, that jai jape, anyone who chants it, tare krishna upajaye bhav. Feelings of love or bhav towards Krishna becomes manifest in the heart of anyone who chants Hare Krishna. What an interesting statement. Krishna Vishayak Prema Parama Purushartha Jari Age Trina Tulya Chari Purushartha. So if somebody asks, what is that bhav towards Krishna? Then the spiritual master Ishwar Puripad, he explains, Krishna Vishayak Prem, that love whose object is Krishna, is Param Purusharth, is the highest goal of life. Why do you say highest? He says, Jari Age Trina Tulya Chari Purusharth. In front of love of God, every other goal is very insignificant. Other goal means religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and ultimately liberation. Even that is like a dry piece of grass lying on the ground. We don't count the pieces of grass. We don't even actually look at the pieces of grass which are lying on the ground. So a person who has the love of God, he has so much bliss that he does not care even for liberation. That's what it says, Jari Age Trinatulya Chari Purushartha. Now, there's a link. It is in the previous shloka, it says, anyone who chants Hare Krishna mantra develops love of God. So what that love of God is, the greatness of love of God is explained here. So, if somebody says, why it is like this, that the love of God makes other goals of life insignificant, then the spiritual master Ishwar Puripad explains, Panchama Purushartha Premanandamrita Sindhu Mokshadi Ananda Jar Nahi Eka Bindu. This Pancham Purushartha, this love of God, immerses the sadhaka or immerses the soul in the ocean of happiness of bhakti. You have to understand that when we have love of God, whatever we do, whatever devotional service we do in relationship with Krishna gives us unlimited happiness. That's what Ishwar Puripad is explaining. And he says that in front of that ocean of happiness, the happiness derived from liberation is not even a drop. You see, mokshadi anand jar nahi ek bindu. Not even a drop. The liberation, the so-called famous liberation or the happiness of liberation, which is made famous or thought that it is infinite, is not even a drop in front of the happiness which a devotee experiences by love of God. And that love of God is coming by chanting Hare Krishna, which is there in the heart but becomes manifest by chanting Hare Krishna. See what fortune we have. Then he says, Krishna namer phala prema sarva shastre koy bhagye sei prema tomai karila uday. Krishna namer phal, it is the fruit of chanting Krishna Nam, which is prema, love of God, which has been described in the previous shlokas. Sarva shastre koy, it is not that I am saying, all the shastras are saying the real effect of chanting Hare Krishna is love of God. Krishna, the name Krishna is called Parak Nam, which gives love of God. Is it all clear? Are you able to all follow with me? Now he says, Bhagye se prema tumai kari lauda. It's a fact that the holy name of Krishna gives love of God. And all the Shastras are speaking, but we also see that everybody is not getting ecstatic love of God, at least in front of our eyes right now. So Bhagya means you have chanted Hare Krishna mantra offenselessly. You are very fortunate, and that's why the holy name being pleased has manifested, blessed you with love of Krishna. Is it okay? Are you with me? Now, what is the Svabhava of this prema? You have explained the Svabhava of holy name that gives love of God. And what is the Svabhava? What is the nature of this love of God? Premara Svabhava kare chitta tanu shobha Krishnera charana prapti upajay lobha. It is the very nature of love of God, Svabhava, very nature, that kare chitta tanu shobha. It agitates the mind, chitta, and also the body. Tanu means the body. And this one is really nice. Krishner charana prapti upajay lobha. This increases within the heart or manifests. Upajay means it manifests lobha or greed to attain the lotus feet of Krishna. It's a beautiful statement. Many times people say, it's a fact that you cannot attain Krishna without this kind of greed. You must have heard that. But very nicely put by His Holiness Vrindavan Chand Maharaj said, you must remember that bhakti has the capacity to manifest that greed. So sometimes devotees get discouraged. Oh, I don't have greed to attain Krishna. But when you are doing bhakti, that bhakti itself will manifest greed. Are you seeing it here? Krishnera charana prapti upajaye lobh. As we develop love of God, more and more, bhakti increases. There is an increasing greed to attain Krishna. It's like really intense greed where you don't want anything except Krishna. And then again another Svabhava of this love is Premar Svabhava Bhakta Hase Kande Gaya Unmata Haya Nache Iti Uti Dhai. It is the very nature of love that the devotee Hase, that means he laughs. And then Kande, he cries. Why does he laugh? In his meditation he sees Krishna and he becomes very happy. And then suddenly Krishna disappears and then he cries. And then sometimes, and then again Krishna comes and again he laughs like a small child. Krishna will disappear and then says, and then the child is crying and the devotee is crying like a child. And then Krishna says, oh, you can't even tolerate this much of my separation. Oh, my dearest devotee, I'm just coming back to you. And then again the devotee is laughing like this. And he's just oblivious to what is happening in the outside world. And that's why he says, Gaye. He chants the holy name of Krishna. Unmat hayya nache. Unmat means mad. He becoming mad, he dances. Iti uti dhai. He goes here and there. This is called love of God. This is the manifestation of love of God. Then he mentions all the symptoms which are coming. Sweda kamparu mashru gada gada vaivarnya Unmada Vishada Dharya Garva Harsha Dainya Ete Bhave Prema Bhakta Ganer Nachay Krishnera Ananda Mrita Sagare Bhasai. Swed means this water which is coming out from our body like that, but it's not simply sweat. Swed, kamp means vibration. Romanshru means the hairs on the body are standing on end. Gadgada means the throat gets choked. Vaivarna means the color of the body changes. Unmad means madness. Vishad means lamentation. Dhair means, dhair you understand, patience. Garv means pride. Harsh means happiness. Danya means humility. All these bhav, all these emotions are manifested due to love of God. Bhakta Ganer Nachay, and all these emotions make the devotees dance. Krishner Ananda Amrita Sagare Bhasai. Bhasai means to immerse. This love of God immerses the devotee in the ocean of bliss of Krishna. Then he says, after saying all this, Ishwar Puripad says, Bhala haila paile tumi parama purshartha tumara premite ami haila na kritartha. Beautiful line. Bhala haila is very nice. Bhala haila, very nice. Paile tumi param purshartha. You have attained this love of God. Okay. Tumara premite ami. Because of your attaining love of God, hailan kritartha. Ami hailan kritartha. Ami, me, I have become successful in life. Prabhupada says in the purport there that the spiritual master is not really happy when the devotee brings some money and does not become a devotee. But actually a devotee develops love of God, then the spiritual master feels that he has become successful. Then what I should do now? He says, continue doing what you are doing. Nacha gao bhakta sangha kara sankirtana Krishna nama upadeshi tara sarvajan. You dance. Nacha, gao, when you sing. Alone? No. You do with the association of devotees. Do Sankirtan, Krishna Nam Upadeshi, and you give this Upadesh, you give this instruction of chanting Harinam to everyone. Why? Because you are experiencing the highest result of chanting Hare Krishna. You are qualified to speak about the holy name. Now, after saying this, Ishwar Puripad, Mahaprabhu says, Ishwar Puripad gave him an instruction. Eta bali eka shloka sikhaila more bhagavatera sara ei bole bare bare. After saying this, the spiritual master taught me a shloka, and he said that this is the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. This is a shloka here, which is shown here. Evam vratah swapriya nam kirtya jatanurago dritachitta uchchai hasati ato rodati rauti gayati unmada vandrityati loka bahya. Evam vrata, having taken a vow like this, swapriya nama kirtya, chanting is the holy names of Krishna which are very dear to him. Jatanurago, anurag, attachment to Krishna becomes manifest. So you see, before, hear carefully, before there was no rag. That's why the word is vrata. I will chant these many number of names. But then by chanting the names which are dear to the devotee, a devotee develops anurag. And you see this word, jat anurag, jat anurag, jat, manifest, birth. The anurag or a deep attachment to Krishna, constant attachment to Krishna becomes manifest. What does happen after that? Dhruta chitta uchchai, dhruta chitta, his heart becomes melted. And uchchai, when very loudly, hasati, he laughs. Atarodati, and then sometimes he cries, as I explained. Rauti gayati, and he sings very, very loudly. Does he not care for public? He says, Unmad one, like a madman. Not a madman, like a madman. Just like the madman is not caring for public. Similarly, devotee is not mad. He is internally connected with Krishna and experiencing this unlimited happiness. Because of that, he appears to be mad. That's why the word is Unmadavan Nrityati Lok Bahya. He does not care for outside people, and he just, in madness, he chants Hare Krishna mantra. So, this is how Mahaprabhu's experience was. So now you say, we don't feel like this. We are only counting our rounds. Yes. So, this is our Vrata stage where we complete our Nam Vrata, but slowly, as we develop in Bhakti, these things will manifest. We must remember, as well as Radha Govind Maharaj was mentioning very nicely, as we eat, every morsel is decreasing our hunger and giving us nourishment. Similarly, we may not feel, but with every chanting of Hare Krishna, the love of God is increasing bit by bit by bit by bit, like that. This has been explained by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also, that when Ajamil chanted Narayan, the first name destroyed all sins, and any other name he chanted was increasing his bhakti, although he was not aware. Is it okay? So, we should never become discouraged. These things will happen or manifest by the mercy of the holy name that a sadhaka should remember. This is this goal, the highest purusharth of love of God, in front of which even liberation is useless, will be given to us by the mercy of the holy name. That's why a sadhaka would carefully avoid anything which will displease the holy name, and will do all the things which will please the holy name. And also Mahaprabhu himself has said, there is a formula by which a person, O Rama Rai, O Ramanand Rai, you hear, by which a person develops this love of God very nicely, very easily. You know that? Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishtana amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. One should try to be respectful to others, not expect respect in return, and in this way, if he keeps on chanting Hare Krishna mantra, very easily this love of God will have manifest in his heart. So we discussed something about the holy name and the blessings which are inherent in the holy name, and access to those blessings of holy name is through Trinadapi Sunichena Shlok. So we should try to practice in our life, and in that mood chant Hare Krishna, and maybe by Krishna's mercy, Mahaprabhu's mercy, we will also one day say, Kiba mantra dila gosai, Kiba tara bala, japite moi hoila pagal. And that is the aspiration of a devotee. Okay? Hare Krishna. Sriman Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Sri Harinam Prabhu ki jai, Sri Prabhupada ki jai, Tai Gaur Premanande.